The regular Eveleth City Council meeting scheduled for 5 p.m. April 2nd will now come to order. Roll call.
Councillor Rousey.
Here.
Councillor Koivunen.
Here.
Councillor Lillis.
Here.
Councillor Hadrava.
Here.
Mayor Vysalovich.
Here. Approval of minutes, City Council Workshop Meeting, March 19th. Approval of minutes, City Council Workshop Meeting, March 19th. And approval of minutes, City Council Special Meeting, March 22nd. If no one has any additions, corrections, call for a motion that we approve these minutes.
Motion.
Motion made by Rousey. We have support.
I'll support.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, approval of tonight's agenda. Does anybody have any changes, additions, or deletions?
I don't.
And
Write
these
that
are
down.
the quotes that's already on here. If no one has any changes to tonight's agenda, I'll call for a motion that we approve the agenda as it is printed.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Drava. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item E, appointments and presentations. Appointment of Tony Lee Nemnick to the Library Board, and appointment of Adam Dawson to the Eveleth, Virginia Airport Authority. If no one has any objections, we can approve both of these in one motion. So, motion made by Koivunen. Do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion?
Just like to thank them both for stepping up to the plate and volunteering for these boards. Real hard to fill them boards, and we really appreciate when our citizens step up to the plate. Thank you very much.
We sure echo that comment, Ryan, I'll tell you that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. At this point in the meeting, if anyone from the audience would like to address the council for about 5 minutes, otherwise we allow time after the meeting for someone. Yes, sir, want to come up to the podium and
I get you.
good.
I'm Mark Krumpetich, live in West Eveleth, grew up in Coleraine, went to Greenway, moved down the cities for 15 years or so, had some kids, moved them up here about 14 years ago, and currently in the Eveleth district, school district. So I'm just here to talk about the referendum a little bit, and everybody saw this come out this week. Questions, I guess, on it. So Gilbert Mayor came out right away and said he was against it. You know, we all knew that that would go over, you know, not well, taking up the middle school. And we haven't said too much here in Eveleth, and I'm looking at this and had discussions with people in the, you know, in the city, and the question, you know, posed really is how do we get to this situation? You know, I live in West Eveleth. You know, we are taxed very heavily over there. You know, I would say that we have no curbs, no gutters. I think it went up another 11% a couple days ago when we got the taxes in. And now we're looking at another, you know, I'm looking at $500 a year, you know, for the referendum. And I'm not against this at all. I'm totally about the collaboration, when it was a collaboration. You know, when they first came out with it, they said 9 through 12 independent school districts. You know, I was all for it. Next thing you turned around, it was 7 to 12. You know, and then they threw in a couple elementary schools. Now we have, what, 181 million in front of us? I mean, I think it's just reckless spending, okay, first off. I don't think we need to combine with Virginia. I think we can use the buildings we have now. They're not in that bad a shape. Virginia's the one that needs a new school much worse than we do. And I'm worried for the city of Eveleth. You know, forget about Gilbert, forget about everybody else, but the city of Eveleth, go down the range, you know, look at Pengilly. Look at Marble, look at Taconite, look at Beauvais. Every single one of those towns took out their elementary school, and what happened to them? There's nothing there anymore. They're lucky to have a bar or a gas station, but they don't have both. And I know you can't look out there and say, oh, that'll never happen to Eveleth. But it will. Because you take the elementary school out of here and high school out of the town, and yes, it's going over on 53, but that's not the same thing. People don't have to come into Eveleth anymore. Okay, they just go to 53. I do, because I live in West Eveleth. I have to come through to go to Gilbert or anywhere else, but the normal customer isn't coming to Eveleth anymore. And I mean, my fear is that's what will happen to Eveleth, just like the rest of the town. So I know there hasn't been a big stand, and I've heard, I know people have approached you guys, you know, talking about different things, but I think it's important that we take a stand on this and vote this referendum down and get something that makes sense. You know, something where we can use the building, something that we can, you know, we can educate our kids the way we need to, but there's nothing wrong with some of the buildings we have now. So I just wanted to address it. It's becoming a hot topic. You know, they mailed out this week, there's more coming. Not everybody's behind it. And I'm all about the kids, but not in this state, not in 180 million of reckless spending, and that's what I call it at this point. So I just wanted to address you guys to let us know that, you know, let you know that not everybody is what you read on Facebook and, you know, read in the referendum that was mailed out. There are people that are standing up and not in favor of the way it's proposed right now.
You know, I appreciate you taking the time and come here. That's kind of what this forum is for. You know, it's probably one of the biggest moves you're going to see in the community money-wise. Shipped with the investments, and like I say, it's a real complicated issue. Like you say, there's a lot of things to iron out.
Yeah, there is.
Just a vote doesn't mean we're all done. We're going over here to school next.
No, the
Next
vote
year,
does mean 30 million, and it is, at this point, they can't even tell us where the schools went. You know, there's 2 proposed sites, and neither are, let's say, approved. You know, so there's it's the cart's ahead of the horse, once again, and that's where I'm at on it. So I just want to bring it up. You know, I was asked by other citizens to speak, so I did. And, you know, I hope you take a look at it. I hope you go to the meetings tomorrow and listen to what they have to say.
Well, we met with the superintendents to go through the proposal, so we can ask our questions, see what was going on. Because, you know, there's a lot of things, like you say, going around. Just so certain things we wanted to ask could get addressed.
Right.
Get too big of a meeting and stuff just gets absorbed, you know.
Well, a lot of it's changed. You know, people don't even know where they're at on it. You know, I talked to a ton of people in the last week that had no idea it was even, you know, not 9 through 12 anymore, or the elementary school was leaving. So when things change like that, the citizens don't, you know, until they get involved, they don't know about it. So hopefully the meetings will straighten some things out and we'll come up with something that makes sense.
Well, I got about a month before the vote,
Yep.
6 weeks, so I imagine there'll be a lot going on.
We'll see. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience? If not, I'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of payroll, March 1st through the 15th. Approval of claims, March. Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, Division of Forestry and Fire Department Cooperative Fire Protection Agreement and Mutual Aid and Contingency Agreement by and among the agencies of the Arrowhead Emergency Medical Services Association. Anybody have any questions on any of these items? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion made by Rousey. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no public hearings, no unfinished business, and we will move on to new business. First item under new business, proclamation, the National Emergency Medical Services Week, May 19th through the 25th. And we proclaim that in Eveleth. I call for a motion that we approve this proclamation.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Hadrava. Do I have support?
Support?
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 2, ambulance EMT and shift supervisor EMT position description, ambulance service operating guidelines, and ambulance transfer policy. Is that just updating what we have then? Or some changes,
Oh,
you
sorry.
guys?
Brian and Joe were part of the discussions.
Yes, Mayor, this is just part and parcel of the wholesale thing that we've been trying to do for several months, and that's just to kind of bring things up to date, and the policies needed to be looked at and addressed, and this is part of that package. There is one issue that probably needs to address, and if the council chooses to approve the operating guidelines, I would ask that we would approve that on the contingency that we define what rate of pay is paid for holiday pay. Because that currently isn't in there. It lists when they get compensated for holiday pay, but it doesn't list what the rate of pay is. So if we could memorialize that, if the council chooses to approve the operating guidelines, I would appreciate it.
You want to approve the guidelines and then we address the holiday pay issue in that motion, Brian? Is that?
Correct, Mayor. If, approve the operating guidelines contingent on identifying the rate of pay for holiday pay in the guidelines.
Okay. Anybody else? So we get a second to that motion?
I will support it.
Motion supported by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3. Quote from Braun Northwest Incorporated for a new ambulance. Well, I see you got one of my issue addressed on here, 4x4. That's,
Yes, sir. I guess we kind of knew this was coming down the pike.
we've been talking about this for a few years.
Right, and, you know, we're getting into a position now where we've made the best use of our equipment for a number of years, and we need to put a good quality, reliable vehicle into the fleet. And we have a golden opportunity right now because of the fact that we're receiving some special pricing due to the fact that we're going to get lumped in with City of Hibbing on a bulk purchase. So that's going to save us a substantial amount of money.
Well, this is less than I was thinking.
Right.
We originally talked quite a bit less.
Quite considerably less, and you know, you compare it to, you know, I've heard that a neighboring community paid in the neighborhood of $300,000 for a rig. So, you know, I think we're doing quite well with an estimate of this type. And the next item for business, item number 4, is a piece of equipment that goes in that particular ambulance, but we're dealing with it separately because of the fact that, you know, it's a couple different financial issues, and I can address that when we get to it.
Okay, I know we talked about this, and a couple of years ago, we committed to keeping ambulance service and getting everything, like you say, the guidelines and things,
Yes, sir.
keep updating everything, so.
And there is some funds, or are some funds that have been set aside for this particular purchase. The ambulance service has, I believe, $50,000 towards the purchase already. And, you know, I'm certain that we can very easily come up with the remainder of it without hardly any sweat on our brow.
My biggest concern was, you know, all hours that thing is out, and with the 4-wheel drive part, I'm glad we got that addressed with this vehicle.
And then just the fact that, you know, we are on pace at the moment to probably eclipse all prior records for ambulance calls. You know, last year there was a record number, from what I understand, it was well over 800. And I think we're on pace to eclipse that number even. You know, plus the fact that, you know, we're putting these folks out that are essentially paid volunteers. We need to give them some good equipment to work with.
I agree.
We need to provide for the people of our community. You know, we need to be able to, they need to be able to get there to help them in a piece of equipment that's going to perhaps save a life or many lives. So with that, I would make a motion to accept the quote from Braun Northwest for a new ambulance, in the amount of $243,921.
Do we have support to that motion?
I will support it. It's, you know, it seems like a big amount, but it's something that we need. And everything is going good up there now, and we're an older community, and this is just the right time for us. Like I says, we're picking back off of Hibbing, and it's saving us a ton of money. And to make this commitment in 2 years from now might cost us an extra $50,000, so.
Well, like I say, the price is a lot less
Yes.
than we originally talked, quite a bit less. When you break it down over the time and amount of runs it makes, the price really isn't that staggering.
You know, and then we keep another one for transfers, and, you know, we'll have a good one for that, because we are taking a lot more transfers now. Everything's been really good up to now. It's kind of running like a clock. I hate to say it, because usually when you do, that's when it goes to heck, but they've really been doing a good job up there, so.
This is a straight buy price, no trade, and then we'll determine how we're gonna
Yeah, we
handle the
determine
other.
what we want to do with the other two, if we want to trade, you know, make sure we fix one up. And
That's what I did neglect to mention is the age of our existing ambulances. One is a 2004 model and the other's 2010 model, I believe. So they've had a long service life.
And if I believe is that our 2010 Ford that has a hard time going up a hill, it loses power, and, you know, if one of your loved ones or even me are in the back of that, we can't make it up a hill, that's not a good thing.
I could expound on Ollie's conversation
Yeah.
tremendously, all right? Bottom line is that, yeah, the two ambulances we got will get you from point A to point B. It'll nickel and dime you to death. However, we're that many years behind on safety features that are now common. It's like driving in Dad's
That's right.
Cadillac with the metal, thing. We're looking out for our patients and our personnel.
And I think our next one on number 4 here coming up will be it'll be advantageous to this, because it'll save on our backs.
And,
You know, everybody's
guaranteed.
backs lifting
Tell
and,
me.
you know, so.
Be advised, though, that in my opinion, the 04 is a much better unit than the 10-1. That's older.
And we'll leave it
I
up
drove
to
it back from Fargo at 50 miles an hour. Not a good day.
we were hoping to just leave it up to management to make those decisions, because you
We don't know.
folks up
Oh, of
there know
course, yeah.
exactly what the situation
But this is well needed and it's well welcomed by the rank and file.
Good.
Well,
It's good.
Well, is there any other discussion? We have a motion and a second on the floor. If not, all in favor of accepting this quote?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 4, quote from Stryker for powered fastener system. If somebody wants to explain how that works?
Well, as a piece of equipment goes, the bottom line is it's electronic hydraulic assistance to load the patient into the ambulance. And it's a standard piece of equipment in most modern ambulances, and I understand that you can't even buy an ambulance anymore that isn't equipped or rigged to accept one of those. You have to pay extra to have that particular portion removed, but this being handled as a separate item, because we're of the understanding that there may very well be some partners that we have done business with in the past that are willing to step up to the plate and help us make this purchase for the ambulance. So the reason it's being brought separately to the city council is because, we figure it'd be simpler if our partners would perhaps partner up and pay for this one piece of equipment, and rather than stepping up and paying toward the ambulance. In the scheme of things would make a lot of sense. The plan would be to have our partners purchase this particular item and drop ship it at the ambulance builder's place. I think that's in the state of Washington, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why it's separate. It's a lot of money, but again, it's from my view, a necessary piece of modern equipment that's going to help, not only save our employees' backs and so forth, may very well prevent a tragedy from occurring with a patient where, somebody has an incident where they're unable to load the patient and loses control of the gurney, and what do you have? You have a tragedy. So
Well, that sounds good to me, whatever makes it more efficient and easier for the staff and the patient. No one
Well, I
has,
make that motion, we get it.
okay, do you have a support?
Support?
Support by, motion made by Drava, support by Lillis. Any further discussion? You know, you see more ambulances on a road. If you go to Duluth, I bet you can see a minimum of 2. And I mean, not only from Eveleth and Virginia, from all over, and sometimes more. People are getting transferred and moved, you know, quite a bit to the major facilities. Never saw that years ago. No further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 5, resignation letter from Joellen Haynes, library technician, children's specialist. Unfortunate situation. Let's call for a motion that we accept the resignation from Joellen Haynes and send her a letter of thanks for her tenure at the library.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Rousey, do you have support?
I'll support.
Support by Drava, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 6, recommendation to hire library technician, children's specialist. Recommended we hire Mary Beth Scorich as a library technician, children's specialist. You have a motion that we approve this hire?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Rousey, do we have a support?
I'll make that, I'll support that.
Support by Drava, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 7, First Amendment to lease agreement between the City of Eveleth and Biomedical Applications of Minnesota Incorporated. And that is for the dialysis center building up in the Health Services Park. I know we had a special meeting on that, to try to explain the details. Whether we understand it or not, that's that's one heck of an asset for the area.
I understand it's been 10 years already, you know,
Went by fast.
and we all sat here wondering if it was gonna be something that we should do. And we all decided, let's do it, and it's worked great for the last 10 years, so I will,
Make that a motion.
make that motion for the next 10 years.
All right, do I have support?
Support.
Motion made by Corbin and support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 8, the letter from Dan and Sonia Simonson. There's really no action necessary, but they just wanted to go on record that if we are gonna sell some property there to respective owners, they are interested.
They've been interested for a long time.
I know we finally got to the point where you gotta get it platted. How many years did that take? But like I say, you know, they keep their property up really nice and take care of stuff. I told them, I don't know with right-of-ways and things will shake out, but they are very interested in purchasing that section over their house. Item number 9, letter from St. Louis County Habitat for Humanity for early registration and discounted rate for RV caravanners. Didn't we approve something like this last meeting? I
I'm pretty sure we did this last year too.
Yeah, last year did I make a mistake?
thought we had it last, or did we just prove it?
That was for that was for four-wheelers.
Oh, okay.
That was for different groups, that was for,
But I think we've done this in the past.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
for Mike Wisco's
Oh, okay.
parents.
I just thought it was a duplication of what we already did.
And last year, we had got the same one, and I'm pretty sure we said okay on this,
I think so too.
because it actually filled up the park pretty good.
Park gets a lot of compliments, I'll tell you that.
So I'll make that motion, we accept that and do this.
Okay, motion made by Hadrava to accept that request. Do you have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That concludes new business. Does anybody from the council have anything from any commission or committee reports? I know we're starting to get a little busier now with the weather getting better and projects starting up. Well, John, do you have anything to bring up? Or?
You know, I really do not, and it bothers me that I But I really don't. We have a meeting coming up on the 4th, and up till now, it's been sort of nice and flowish, so no, I do not.
Joe, you have anything?
We had a rock board meeting last week, and I was just to meet the new people on the board from each town after election. We have the same problems, a little leaky roof here and there. They've had a really good year up there for renting it out. Once we get further into it with this group of people, I'll bring something so everybody can see it. But otherwise, everything's going up pretty good up there, and we'll have a golf commission meeting coming up, when the snow goes away. So we can try to get you caught up from last year of how it went and if there's any new plans or stuff this year. So we will keep you posted.
Any warranty on that roof
No,
it's a pretty
but,
new building,
Well, it's over, let's see, over 20 years old already.
Is it 20 years
Yeah,
old?
we're talking, I think it was his 20th year
I'm dating
already.
myself, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I was sitting up there, it's just like being here, we start talking about something like the Fresenius building. To me, it seems like it was yesterday, that was 10 years ago we were talking about it.
Time stands still for us.
Yeah, but it still looks in good shape, there's a couple, when they start telling you about the refrigeration system, maybe Jerry would know about it, but it's like, I'm looking up beige, definitely beige, because I have no idea what they're talking about. But, it's just something that goes and they're gonna, fixing it, 20,000 here but it's stuff it has to fix. Commercial refrigeration does a wonderful job up there. And, all the guys up there that work on it, they get a lot of support from the old timers that are retired, they paint, they do this, they just got a good thing that works up there.
Every time you drive by, there's always a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
I don't care when.
Yeah.
It's nice to see it being used. That's the whole thing. Anything else, Joe?
Nope, that's about it.
Brian, you have anything to add?
No, I think I've said quite enough.
Brad, how about you?
Well, same thing, we got, the park commission coming up and opening up the park and getting things organized there, and that's about it. The weather turned snowy again this morning and nice this afternoon, and we'll switch with the weather a couple more times.
I couldn't believe how big those flakes were coming down. They're just like cotton balls hitting the car.
Almost went to put the
White
plow on.
pancakes.
Yeah, you could barely see. Oh, man. But it didn't last long, which was the nice thing. I don't have anything to bring up at this point. I know we have a workshop Thursday to discuss these projects that we've got. But Jesse, you have anything to add?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to remind the folks at home that calendar parking is still in effect until May 1st.
Is that because it snowed this morning?
We've had a few people coming in and quite upset that they're getting parking tickets and that it hasn't snowed. So it is in effect until May 1st.
Well, you gotta sweep the streets.
Yeah, that's the big push this time of year.
It's Jerry's
People just
fault.
don't realize how important of a job that is.
Well, it's the same ones who get the little orange love notes under the windshield wiper. Jerry, you got anything to add?
Yep, just to let you all know that we are out, we did start sidewalk sweeping and street sweeping, so hopefully we're not too premature on this. It'd be nice if we could get it through this month with calendar parking. So hopefully we can get most of it, and also for your information, which you all kind of know, but we'll be posting for 2 jobs. It should come out in Sunday paper for the first time. Hopefully we can get it in there for Sunday. And we'll be looking for a utility crew leader and also a operator maintenance. 2 positions.
Well, I hope we can get some people. Getting harder and harder. Rod, do you have anything to add for us?
Nothing tonight, but you have questions.
Nothing. Jackie, you have anything?
I don't, thanks.
Mitch?
No, Mayor.
Steph, you got anything to add? Anybody?
Not even good job? Or?
Anyone from the audience? If not, I will adjourn the meeting.
There, no, that's better.
I hear that?